Welcome. Welcome to the Love Frequency Podcast. Vibe with us for a moment. Welcome, magic and wonder, brilliance and grace. Welcome, joy, satisfaction, pleasure and strength. Welcome, essence, beauty, presence, time, spirit, form, and space. Welcome, excellence and sacred and pray. What I have, what I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I wanna be, I am. What I seek, I have. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I wanna be, I am. Welcome to the Love Frequency Podcast. I have my special guest, Tamika Flake Bay. We're excited. Just come and vibe with us for a moment. We'll get started shortly. Thank you all for joining. Share this podcast as well. Share the live, y'all. It's a frequency shift, y'all. Welcome, magic and wonder, brilliance and grace. Welcome, joy, satisfaction, pleasure and strength. Welcome, essence, beauty, presence, time, spirit, form, and space. Welcome, excellence, and every blessing, sacred and praise. What I see, I have. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. What I wanna be, I am. What I seek, I have. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I wanna be, I am. I am the seed, I am the tree. I am the flower, I am the bee. I am fire and I am wind. I accept love and also I give. I am loud and I am mighty. I am silent and I tread lightly. I am brave and monumental. I am modest, I am gentle. I am student and I teach. I am the sand and I am the heat. I am ease and I am power. I am bridge and I am power. I am peace and I am wild. I am mother, I am child. I am many, I am few. I am God and God is you. I see, I have. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I wanna be, I am. What I seek, I have. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I wanna be, I am. Welcome, y'all, to the Love Frequency Podcast. Today, my guest, my goddess, my sister, Tamika Flake Bay.
Today's podcast, I titled it "Where Divine Matriarchs Meet." We have an interesting story. I met Tamika through my husband Billy.
Mhm.
You know, he was like, "You gotta reach out to her. She's always posting stuff, and he's very inspired by your post, and so am I." And I
Oh,
immediately went out
gratitude.
to. I think I found you first on TikTok,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
was like, let me see what's going on TikTok. I know everybody be following people on TikTok in secret.
Yeah.
So I started going through, and I was like, man, she's definitely in tune spiritually. And as I walked and I'm walking in my spirituality, I said, she's a sister I need to definitely get to know. So thank you for accepting that follow and friend request on TikTok first, and
Absolutely.
then
I
Facebook.
listen, I show gratitude to your husband. You know, the first time we actually talked, y'all, we were on the phone and I am not a talker. I was telling her, yo, I'm an extreme introvert. I can get along with just about anybody, but I'm really, really like to myself. The first time we got on the phone, we was on the phone for what, about 3 hours.
Three
When I
hours,
say
yeah,
we was talking about every single thing,
nonstop.
it was just an instant connection. So I show gratitude to your
Mm,
husband
yes.
for the introduction. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we'll give him some round of applause because he knew how to connect two sisters. Absolutely. So, I want to give you a moment to introduce yourself. And, that song that we just listened to was by Beautiful Chorus, one of my favorite groups. And it featured India Ari. So if y'all ever want to look that up, that is I Am. And it's a song that I kind of vibe to kind of set my day, especially when I'm starting to question life and things sometimes, and it just helps me, you
It's
know.
I love that group as well. It's and their whole catalog. They've
Ah,
been performing for years, but their
yes,
catalog is beautiful. It's very high vibrational. Go to
hmm,
YouTube, check them out.
absolutely. So with that in mind, of I am, can you think of something that is like an I am statement? I am, and then go into more about who you are, introducing yourself to the world.
I am outside of my, I guess, Tamika Flake, which is just a name. I do consider myself to be a healer,
Mm,
and in different ways and different levels. But anybody that I come in contact with, um, I try to speak light into that soul. I know my purpose now. It took me a little while to get here, but I know my mission and my purpose, and it is actually to activate in the love energy and the love frequency because I really feel that love is the highest vibration
mhm.
um, outside of authenticity.
City.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Outside of that, you just being yourself genuinely, and not
Yes.
only being yourself but accepting yourself for who you are, no matter what is happening outside of you, no matter what opinions is outside of your own. And that's a space that is hard to get into because you are constantly checking with yourself when you're meeting new people or you're interacting, whether it be in work and business, you're constantly checking with yourself to see image,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
correction, how do people perceive me. But once you get outside of that and you live within your truth of who you are with no shame,
Right.
because shame brings a whole different vibration. We can get into that as well. But just authentically being who you are.
Yeah.
I think that and the love frequency is the highest and strongest vibration, and that's what I'm here to do. Just shed the light, just turn the light on.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Love Frequency podcast. That was one of the reasons why we did name it that, because we recognize that this is the where we need to be. We
Absolutely.
need to be in love. We need to be in that heart chakra. And we chose the color green because green represents the heart chakra and
Absolutely.
the love frequency. So that's how it was born. And we took a break. We joked about it, but we actually took a break from it for about a year because we felt like we were probably a little too far ahead, not in a egoistic way.
Hmm,
We were just
hmm,
like, wait a minute, maybe we need to take a pause. Maybe some events, some things need to happen, you
hmm.
know. We recognize, even as of yesterday, even the world right now is in a state of just complete chaos.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
those are some set agendas that come with that, and we use this podcast to talk about some of those set agendas as well. So what I would say to you as we're on this show, be you. You are the I am. So be you. We don't shy away from a lot of topics here. We have
Okay.
um what we call it courageous conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the kind of
It's a no
conversation I
judgment zone. It's a
like.
courageous conversation. We say it. We may say what some people may be thinking, and it's okay. But we do it all in love and in peace. So speaking of the world being chaotic, a lot of folks may get lost in the shuffle of fear. You know,
But that is the whole game plan, because what
hmm
is the world focused on? Everything outside of themselves.
right?
Everything outside of themselves. And there's no growth outside of you.
None.
If your focus is on, and listen, I don't want to
This is like
sound
power to the people.
like, I don't want to sound cliche in meaning that, I have completely, turned off to the events that's going on in the world. No,
Right.
absolutely not. But you absolutely have to know how to separate the two.
Right.
Because if all your focus every day from the time you wake up to the time you sleep is on the world events, and all of this is
Right.
designed to happen. Everything that's happening is supposed to happen and is going to happen. Not saying that we are to sit back and do nothing, but know your battles. Your biggest battle is it's always going to come back to self.
Yes.
When I say love is the highest frequency, and self-love, I don't mean self-love in a selfish way where all of your focus is just
Mm,
on you and you don't pay attention to anything outside of you.
right.
Absolutely not. When I say love and self-love, I mean learning to accept the dark and the light parts of
Ooh.
yourself, learning to love all of you.
Yes.
When you are in that energy of acceptance of you, it puts you on a different vibration. You are able to see people, to talk to people, to deal
Mm,
with people on a different level. And it's more softer and it's more nurturing
yes.
because you're in a completely different energy. The aggression disappears and
Mm,
dissipates. And dealing with any, how any of us are, I think it's just natural when you're dealing with a person, how you speak to them, body
hmm
language,
Right.
all of that matters.
It does.
So if you're outside of that love frequency,
Uh-oh.
all of that is going to be discombobulated. So your approach to people and dealing with people, it's going to be discombobulated, and it can be misinterpreted or mistook. So now you know what y'all arguing, or
Mm,
y'all battling, or y'all fighting, or y'all beefing, or y'all. But I'm telling you, it's almost like when you open up your heart space, it softens
mm,
everything around you, and it allows you to navigate in life.
yes.
And so, I mean, I'm gonna forever promote
Mm,
mastery within the mind and mastery within self and
right.
operating within the heart space
That's
for
what's
those
up.
exact reasons.
And y'all just got whipped by the goddess just now. That's what this love frequency is about, and frequency shifting. This is like a frequency shifting series that we're going to be doing as well. So, welcome to that. And so, even with all of that, because sometimes spiritual people kind of get it misconstrued, right? And don't kind of understand it. They say these words, but like we say a lot of words, words
Mhm.
are powerful, right?
Absolutely.
That we got to really understand. But what does being spiritual mean to you?
Okay.
And how has your view evolved over time around that since you learned about spirituality?
Spirituality spirituality to me, is not just a aesthetic. It's not a
Hmm
look. It You can't like look at a person and say that, even though when we see our brothers and our gods or our goddesses in the jewelries and at
hmm
the beads and the crystals, you just automatically assume that those people are spiritual. But
hmm
spirituality is not a aesthetic. It's not a physical look. It is all internal. And I'm telling you, it's dark. It's
Mm,
dark. It's not pretty. It's
mm-mm.
not. It's not always love and light. Love and light is an energy I think that we all aspire to be in or get to, but that takes work. You
Right,
got to go through the dark to get to the light. There's no in between.
right.
And the darkness is what a lot of us astray from.
It's that shadow.
And when you got to turn that mirror around, because I did it and it took me some years. I'm talking about when you sit with yourself and
Mm,
you take all the players, meaning all the people in your life, all of the characters within your movie off the table, and it's just you.
ooh.
When you look at every situation that you done been through throughout your whole life, and it's just you, focus on
Mm,
why did this situation happen to, not that it
mm.
wasn't supposed to, because we be so focused on the person, what the person did to me.
Right.
Well, they did this to me and caused me to do this. Everything
Mm,
is I feel is a lesson in your
yes,
soul's evolvement. and
absolutely.
and so when you can turn that mirror around, take accountability. I'm talking about for every single thing that goes on within your life, because
Hmm.
when you start breaking it down, it really is you. It's choices
Yes.
within ourselves. Nobody did it to you. What did you allow?
Right.
Because see, we all are built. I think we all have an internal thing where we some of us might be blessed with more discernment than others, and all of us have it. We just, some people just haven't activated in it. That's all.
Right.
But those are gifts, and we always feel things within our gut because our body tells us every single thing.
Hmm.
Or we all, when we're dealing with any situation, people, places, and things.
Hmm.
But what do? We ignore it.
Yeah.
I'm just overthinking, and it always comes back. But
Right.
everybody is has a built-in our psychics. It's just
Hmm.
it depends on you to activate within that
It's
energy.
part of those
It
powers.
it really does. But we all have those gifts. So when I say taking accountability for everything that has happened to you and taking all the players off, sometimes that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna feel good. And
Yeah.
and it might mean tears, and it might mean weight loss, and it might mean stress. It might mean, listen, all of that and above.
Right.
But it is, I'm telling you, once you start navigating and getting through, the other side is the love and light. But you
Oh
don't
yes.
get there unless you go through that dark.
Oh
There's
yeah.
no in between. So the biggest misconception when
Hmm.
it comes to spirituality is that everything is just freaking peaches and freaking cream, or fucking lilies
It's not.
and roses, and we're just out here just happy and
Happy go
skipping.
lucky.
No,
No.
no, we're still human, and
Right.
and so we're still going to fight our battles and have our trials and tribulations.
Hmm.
It's how you look at anything, is
Hmm.
how you get through it.
Hmm.
I don't, but everybody gonna go through shit.
Right.
But how you internalize that and look at that, and not project onto other people, not
Ooh.
invite people into your misery.
Your
You
misery.
understand me? Because
Ooh,
the
that's
misery does love company.
yes, it does.
Once you get outside of that and you really start making it about you
Yeah.
and your choices and your thoughts, because your thoughts, of course, I feel like, our thoughts, of course, invite experiences to us,
It
whether they're good
does.
or bad. So I believe once you get through that, that's the other side. But
Yeah.
this don't come without the ugly, and sometimes we don't show the ugly, especially
Hmm.
when you're dealing on social media. It's kind of like a little bit fake, a little bit, because
Right.
we only show our happiness or our good times. But I'm telling you, it's always
Mm.
dark, and then there's light. The dark didn't come from the light. The dark was first.
Right.
So you're gonna have to get into that in order to get into a state of mind where no matter what's going on, you sort of kind of unfuckwittable.
Right.
You
You,
you you pushing through.
I want to play on something you said, and you were talking about bringing other people in and the misery, loves company concept.
Mhm.
What is your view on, is it anybody's business about what you're going through? Why or why not?
Okay, it depends. That's really like up to you. I don't believe that your business is everybody business, because the certain information or things with certain friends or family members that you can divulge to them. And it's nothing against them. It's that some people have spirits and things on them that they don't even know that's on them. And the gossiping spirit is
Ooh,
prevalent. Do you understand me?
that one hit.
And so you could be going to them in confidence and they're listening to you in confidence, but
Yeah,
they're gonna you might not want what you told to them regurgitated to anybody else, but that gossiping spirit they don't know that's on them is strong.
true.
And so they're activated in an energy that's really uncontrollable.
Hmm.
So I mean I've gone outside of calling people when I have problems or issues going on. Not saying that that's wrong, because if you have a strong system or somebody that you know trust with all your trials and tribulations or whatever the case, by all means. As far as me, I am I sort of kind of like to do my own work. When I have something going on, I sort of kind of like to go in and do some digging.
Yeah, the
And
same way.
I don't really like to take on other people's opinions too much, because
Mm-mm.
their opinions is based on where they are in life, their life choices, how they
They
were
can't see,
reared,
you know, how they
everything
see you the way they can, as far as they can see you.
is
That's it.
that's it.
That because of their value system.
And so their
Hmm.
advice is going to be a little bit distorted,
Distorted.
and
Yeah.
it's no blame to them, but I would
Right.
just much rather trust me.
Okay.
And
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask a question that I'm trying to ask every guest that kind of comes on. Because it's like the spirituality stuff is waking up, right? I ain't gonna say it's like it is waking up, y'all. Depending on where you are
mhm,
in your
mhm.
frequency. But when you're talking to people that have referred to God, um, versus source or any other name,
Mhm.
many names, how do you explain God or source to someone that's newly awakening?
Okay, I don't get into the name actually, because I think
Mhm.
that gets we get so focused on whether you want to say God or
He or
source
she.
or the universe or Allah, and that'll keep us stuck and trapped.
Hmm.
If we're all talking about the same energy, the same source, I um I don't say God the Father. I say God the Mother. You know,
Hmm.
even though we all know that God is not actually a woman or a man,
Right.
for our minds, you know, we sort of kind of circumcise the God down into, you know, whatever we choose. But I try to stay away from the actual namesake.
Hmm.
And if I'm going to explain to what I feel God is not outside of us.
Mm-mm.
There's no God that's this mysterious God that's in us in the sky. I did not meet God outside of me. I
Mm.
met the Godmother when I was at a really dark place in my life, but it was inside of me, the energy, and when I felt her, it
Hmm.
wasn't outside of me, and you know, so for me, God is internal, but you can't meet her, or him, or you know,
Or it
source
or
or
the energy
universe
or
or whatever.
whatever.
You can't meet that energy outside of you.
Mm.
It's in here, and it is it's beautiful, it is it's loving, it is nurturing, and it's soft, and it's gentle, and the energy is just everything.
Mm.
I'm not one of those ones that operate in fear
Mhm.
on any level. So I don't teach my children, or you know, myself or my household, we do not fear God. We
Right.
have no reason to fear what created us. Absolutely, there's no fear, and we have when we have questions, yeah, we question God
Mhm.
often, and
Yes.
and receive what we're supposed to receive. So there's no type of fear or shame. I don't live my life. Uh, when I hear people saying, you know, they want to, well, men, you know, you have to be a God fearing woman. I mean, that's
Oh,
beautiful
I love
if
that.
that is where you are, but My God, I
I
don't
don't
have to
fear.
fear. I don't even feel
Yes.
that energy. When I go inside, when I go into meditation, when I go into prayer, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not worship because we can get into that too.
Okay.
I believe in honoring
Mm-hmm.
and honoring that God by honoring self and honoring the vessel because God is within you. So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm going within or when I'm meditating or when I'm honoring, I don't feel any type of uh I don't feel any type of fear. Like there is it is like a calmness and a stillness, and it does not matter where I'm at or what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
or how overwhelmed I'm feeling. I can just take a second to close my eyes and go in and feel her all day every day.
Mm.
I don't have to go, to uh church or a prayer mat or prayer closet or you know I don't
Mm.
have to do any of that.
Yes.
This is she's with me and walking with me um indefinitely, like
Yes.
internally. Like so I don't know. I just don't look at the godmother as being outside of me. And when I
Mm-hmm.
am in prayer and I'm asking, because I have to go in prayer a lot and ask for my heart space to be open
Yes.
because
Yes.
listen, some days, I am nobody is perfect, but I do have my days where I am, I'm not really I don't want to be friendly and I'm not a people person that day. So it is one of my because I have a regimen that I
Yeah.
do
Oh.
every rising. And that's something that I always ask for the godmother to like, oh, soften my heart, open my heart today.
And you notice that she gives you opportunities to do that because of
Yes,
what you ask. Words are
yes,
so
absolutely,
powerful that sometimes, and I didn't understand that whole concept at one point where they say you better be careful what you ask for because you just
absolutely.
might get it. It may not come the way you think.
No.
There's a journey and everything. It is not for punishment.
Mm-mm.
It's just for realigning you to your higher self. That's what I have started to understand more,
Absolutely.
that different things that's handed to you, it's not for punishment.
Mm-mm.
You
It's
know,
never for
God, source,
punishment.
universe, the energy, it does not punish you. So
Mm-mm.
that God fearing term never resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
I, in fact, I always like when people plant seeds for me
Mm-hmm.
because that makes I'm an analytical person. I'm a Virgo. Yes, I am a big Virgo. And we're very analytical. So what that does for me is that makes me go research
Yeah.
more. And I found that that term had been misconstrued for eons and ancient of years of what that really was supposed to mean. It was meant that God in awe, but there was no English translation. Awe ended up getting translated into fear.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever the masters are in this realm,
The puppets,
the
the
puppets, the
puppeteers, not
puppeteers,
because we're the puppets. Then you have the puppeteers.
made people feel like you had to fear God, like God is going to div down this punishment because you made a wrong decision.
Hmm.
I even recognized in my awakening experience that um, it's not a reward system. Like it's not like a pay for performance like you do on your job. In fact,
Mm-mm.
that I don't even agree with a pay for performance on jobs. What I did more reports this round and so I get paid for it. Like that's not what we get paid for even. That's just not how I have now witnessed how source works. It's not a good deed for this.
Mm-mm. And then,
Um
not to interrupt
yeah,
you,
go ahead.
but if you're in that energy of with that mindset, thinking that you're only given or in service to receive,
Ooh,
you losing.
you're losing.
And it's not genuine, and it's
Mm-mm.
not from your heart space. So I believe that could be like the greatest atrocity or sin,
Hmm.
because you don't ever supposed to do things that you actually don't want to do. It needs to um come from here.
Yeah, or things that you wouldn't do for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you got to start with yourself first, and it may sound like a very selfish thing, but for me, it's more of aligning yourself more to your higher self to care for you. Um, because that's where disappointment comes into play, you know.
Absolutely.
And I love what you were talking about, like, I got to deal with my hard part of myself. That's that
Hmm.
masculine energy. We
Yes,
talked about that for almost the 3 hours
we
between
did.
the feminine and the masculine energy, and we can
Hmm.
dive into that too, um, in this segment because there's a yin and a yang, you
Absolutely.
know, that you we're part of dark and light, and when they come together, it's a blend. People talk about, and I've heard folks talk about how me and Billy, Billy is like the bad guy, kind of his delivery is hard, and I'm kind of like, oh well, wait a minute, it's a little soft. We play off of each other. That's that divine feminine and masculine energy that just unites
Absolutely.
naturally. It's a very authentic thing,
Hmm.
that happens. We don't practice it, and I'm learning more to do that even with me, just with me. I have a dark side,
Yeah,
and I know when to pull it out when I need to,
absolutely. Absolutely.
because it's in divine order for me to,
Absolutely.
right? And then I have that, and I probably stay more in a space that is more of trying to be my higher self because it's just a easier place to be,
Yeah.
you
When
know?
when when you're conscious, you're able to do that. And I mean, just when I say your shadow side and your light side, we all have it.
Hmm.
We sort of kind of shadow away from our dark side because we don't want to seem, bad or evil, whatever
Hmm.
the case may be. But there's not one without the other. Get
Right.
comfortable with that shadow.
Right.
And the shadow is like you said, sometimes it is absolutely necessary,
Yes.
especially when it comes to protecting your loved ones and your children. You remember what
Right.
I told you? I said, now I choose to activate within my light energy.
Exactly.
But one thing that'll put me on the other side is you play with them children of mine. And all of that is gonna go out the window because I am still a warrior spirit and a protector. So when I say the both are needed and when necessarily,
Yeah.
but you just when you're conscious, you're not activated in that energy unconsciously, so
Right.
meaning you're projecting or you out here just being a nasty
Mm.
evil person to other people because you in a bad mood, or because you don't had a bad day. Now you ready to go fight up or ride them up, shoot them up, kill everybody. No, that's not being conscious, within your dark energy. But
Right.
getting comfortable and getting to know that side of you, and it's not pretty. It's not always pretty, but it's
Right.
absolutely
It's a side that
necessary.
we try to hide from
Yeah,
people.
we do.
That's that,
Absolutely.
because I know we both have been in church and, and stuff like that. I've been in leadership and things. And one of the things that is a misconception, even all the way up to to the preacher and priesthood, is that how you have perfect you have to be, and
Hmm.
that teaches you to shadow away from people that dark side.
Hmm.
When they see it, they get confused.
Hmm.
They're like, "Wait a minute, you're confusing me." But it's sometimes it's meant
Hmm. Hmm.
for you to use it, and just like it's just as sometimes it's meant to use your higher self. I use my higher self to guide me into that
Absolutely.
direction that I'm supposed to be headed in. And even in that guidance, it always don't feel as good as it may likely sound.
Hmm.
I get dealt the lessons, right?
Hmm.
To see
Hmm.
how, because the story's been written. I tell people this all the time. In fact, when I left one company to go to another one, um, I had an old coworker because I tagged her on the email. I thanked everybody, and I was very genuine for playing a part in my story, because every player had something that I had to learn something from in that particular situation.
Absolutely.
I've had to play my higher self with them, my dark self. Like, I was all over the place. Hence why I decided to leave that one role. But because it was a little bit too chaotic
Hmm.
at that moment, because I was playing so much of my dark side,
Yeah, it
it
kept you
just
in the
was not in
energy
a
you didn't.
balance
Yeah, yeah.
whatsoever. And I'm all about balance.
Hmm.
So when I say that I try to operate in my higher self, just know that that's not always roses,
Hmm. Hmm.
because my higher self is who's playing it hard to me.
Well, see, that's the fake side, I think, of spirituality, especially when you dealing online. because it's become so popular.
Mhm.
The love and light and everything is, you know what I'm saying? Just gonna be
Everything is
peaches and
awesome.
cream and perfection. Absolutely not. That's
No,
just,
I wish.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Right, right. So I just say that we're gonna take a break and play some music and everything to give Tamika some time to breathe because I mean she is like really doing it up and I
Y'all know I'm a little
appreciate it.
long winded, so
No,
that's what I'm
she's
saying.
not.
Sometimes you
You
might
just
have to
on
cut me
time.
out because
No,
I get the talking.
everybody that know Vontriece know that Vontriece is an extrovert and a talker. Okay, so no, we doing a great job balancing with this.
Absolutely. Okay.
We having fun. We hope that you guys are getting something out of this. Y'all
Absolutely.
can like and love and share and comment with us. We will respond to you. We're doing our very best. So definitely um chime in if you want. If even if you have a question you want to ask us, y'all can chime in and ask us anything. I would just say this that we have to move beyond fear, fear of punishment, 'cause that's not how source operates at
Absolutely
all.
not.
Fear of after death, fear of life in general, fear of making moves and decisions that align to you because somebody may not agree with it, like what we were talking about, outside help may
Mm-hmm.
not always
Mm-hmm.
be outside help. It's not for everybody to understand this journey that you have. You have an individual journey that you have to understand. At the end of the day, like Billy says, it's all going to come back to you.
You. That's it. That's it.
So I'm going to play a song to give us a little small break to breathe. And we thank y'all for joining us so far. We got some more juice, y'all. We coming. We frequency shifting today. This is going to be Cleo Soul Life Will Be.
So many days you hate the truth, praying for that moment and someone to believe in you. Get out your way, 'cause time won't wait for you. Live your life, live your life. I can see the sadness in your eyes, but I can see the magic in your life. They don't know that it took you your whole life to rediscover. You only hit to love it to be free. Oh, life will be just you believe in you. Oh, life will be just you believe in you. If you're alive, there's no excuse. God gave you a gift that you don't know yet how to use. Get out your mind, you cannot lose this one time. It could be right. I can see the hope that's in your eyes. I can see the magic in your life, but they don't know that it took you your whole life to rediscover. Try find your purpose before you leave. Oh, life will be just you believe in you. Oh, life will be just you believe in you. Oh, life will be just you believe in you. Oh, life will be just you believe in you.
Love Frequency Y'all podcast. And we are back with Miss Tiffany Goddess. Tiffany. Why am I calling Tiffany? Tiffany's my sister. And she was here. So
That's
your
all right.
energy is here today. I don't know if you listening online or whatever, but your energy is here. But Tamika Flake
Hey,
Bay, sorry
Tiffany.
about that. But Tiffany was here. And so she must be talking about me. I always say that when I get my names mixed up. So I say, somebody talking about me. I hope it's good.
Absolutely.
So we're coming back into our next segment. We're going to talk more about, measurement systems and alignment, and we're going to get into like some feminine matriarch stuff too. Um, but I want to ask you, in your opinion, what are some false measurements people are using to determine? And this is for my spiritual community. People are using to determine if they're aligned.
Okay. I think for me, the biggest one is fiat or money, because
Mm.
people seem to think that because you're blessed with materials and lots of them, that you're actually in alignment. And
Mm.
I think that's the greatest deception.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So,
And even having it, just in general, having money, being able to flaunt it and things like that, and having those material things, people can be happy and just live on the street. To be honest with you, little short story. Billy and I went to Atlanta a couple of months ago, and we ran into this homeless guy. He was just out and about walking, and we were sitting there just minding on business. We were waiting on the Free Soul concert to go into it, and he came up to us and he said, "I want to do a poem for y'all." We're like, "Oh, okay, well, go ahead." And the poem was absolutely beautiful, and it seemed that it spoke directly to who we were. Um, and we were trying to give him money. We were trying to give him something.
he was a
And he was like,
messenger.
"No, I'm
Nuh-uh.
fine. I don't need that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm happy. I got everything that I need." And he
Absolutely.
says, and just being around y'all, just seeing y'all, he says, "You guys
He felt our energy.
are just love." And I was like, wow. And then he walked away. We didn't even see this man again. I actually recorded that, so I may have to release that now that I mentioned
Do
that.
that. Do that. Do that.
Because it was phenomenal. And we had his and Billy's cousin was there. You met Cheryl, his her mom. She was just here.
Okay.
But she lives down in Georgia, and she was standing there, and she was just caught in just her own awe. Um, and she was like, "Wow, he didn't want a thing. He was
Mm-mm.
happy."
Because messengers are everywhere, and I call them like angels or guardian angels, or just
Mhm.
and he had a message for you,
He did.
and he didn't need anything in return. And I want to say this, when I say that materials or people equate that with blessings, and I say blessings instead of blessings, so don't misconstrue me.
You can
But
explain that after.
when people equate materials
Mhm.
with them being blessed, and you have chaos or turmoil within your mind, within your heart,
Mhm.
or you're fighting sickness or ailments, um, or not fighting that, you can still have the materials or whatever the case may be, but you're also healthy. Your children are healthy and
Mhm.
and thrive, and you have peace within your home. Those are also blessings. And
Right.
sometimes I think the blessings that uh what we can't buy is the greatest treasure,
Mm.
because all of the materials in the world and you can still be miserable. Just look at our celebrities. Just look, these people got all the money in the world and they have so much chaos and drama and rhetoric. It's daily. It's all in the tabloids. Y'all
Yes.
talk about it all day, every day. But
Yes.
these people are so freaking wealthy and miserable.
Very much so.
You know,
Money can't even buy them out of their situations right now.
no, no, no.
I mean, not at all.
Their souls are in turmoil, and so I don't know. I just encourage people. I always try to shine a light, because we be so focused on what we don't have or what we're not doing or this, that, and the third. We can't see everything that's in front of us.
Right.
We can only see blessings when it comes to money. And don't get me wrong, because I like money too.
It's a
We have to
frequency.
have
It's a
that. We
currency.
have to, and
It's an energy.
in order for us to live, decently here, it is something that, of course, we have to have. But I take that serious just as well as I take peace within my body or within my home, because that affords me, no matter whether it's payday or it's an off day,
Hmm.
I'm still going to be in a certain energy and a certain bliss, no matter what I have going on, as far as the materials is concerned. But don't ever get that twisted. When I say things like that, that by no means, um, it doesn't mean that I don't understand
Yeah.
the vibration of money and fiat and what we have to have in order to live here. So no, where I'm not about to be living up under no freaking bridge. It's not. I'm not gonna.
We can't do that.
Of course, but for me, my mission and my purpose is extremely important. I feel like that is tied into it. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So in order for my wealth is gonna come within me being active within my mission.
That's awesome.
Anything outside of that, it won't stay, and I won't be able to keep it. I'll make it, but it'll go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's based. I'm working on that now.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
mastering my gifts and sharing them with everybody.
That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. And we're gonna get into some of those gifts and surprises that you have for us in store.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
because is well worth to shout about. You
Yeah.
know, let everybody know. So, I want to know also. You talked about that, and you're not going to live under the bridge, right? W- How do you stay in alignment with the way the world it's
I
like
think I know
pressuring
what
you
you're
to
going.
conform? Like how it's tough when you get spiritually awoke,
Like
y'all. It's
it's
hard.
like, listen, for me, it's a constant battle in between. You understand me? Elevation within my soul and chasing the bag. It's just strictly
Yeah.
like, okay, this is just what you, because I am an Aquarius and I do like, you know what I'm saying, nice things, but
Hmm.
I can't like that so much that I'm willing to do anything to get it. You know what I'm
Ooh.
saying? So I do have boundaries, and there is a stop stick
Yeah.
when it comes to, you know what I'm saying. I'm not willing to deceive or lie or confuse anybody to get anything or
Right.
use any type of, you know what I'm saying, deception
Right.
in order to get anything. But it is, listen, it's like a scale that you have to, you know what I'm saying, balance.
Hmm.
You understand, like understanding that that's really not that important,
Right.
and the inside of you is, because I believe in reincarnation. So
I do
this is
too.
why
Okay.
soul involvement and mastery
Yes.
of the mind is extremely important to me, because I don't want to keep being doing this, being repetitive,
The same story.
incarnating back
If
into earth
I always
over and over
believe too
again.
that if it feels familiar to you for some crazy reason, like the deja vu's
Hmm.
or just you're really good at navigating through this particular situation, I feel like you've had this situation a million times.
Yes, ma'am.
And so now
Hmm.
is your time. You're given an opportunity every lifetime to try to fix what was broken.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's where, I talk about like things that don't serve you have to go, right? But
Yes.
but we have free will, so of course. So sometimes we choose those those things that need to be let go, and then we end up having to repeat
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely. And you will
repeat,
repeat until you get it.
right?
Hmm.
Even I mean that's in everything. Like there could be job situations and certain characters and people that come into your life. You're like, dang, wait a minute, you was a character on my last job,
Hmm.
or at my last church,
It's the
or
same energy, different
my last
person.
relationship.
Yeah.
Why is this person doing the same thing to me, probably even worse
Mm-hmm.
than what the previous person did to me? You know, it's a cycle. And I
Yes.
believe that incarnation can happen even when you're living. You don't have to go into death
Mm-mm.
to start it back over again.
Oh
So when
no.
I think of reincarnation, I think of reincarnation of situations, events,
Absolutely.
until you actually learn the lesson all the way into death and having to repeat this thing all over again.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know, so ascension to me means ascending from this. There's going to always be lessons.
Mm-hmm.
We're children
Mm-hmm.
learning.
That's what we came here to do. Earth is like a school.
It's a school.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a
And there's
school.
no book. I just don't feel like there is just one single book. You know, in school, you have how many lessons? Got like 7 classes, times whatever, how many years you went to school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just look at it the same way. We're writing our own books.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Mm-hmm.
life is a book. You're writing it. You're learning those lessons, and in hope to not repeat it again. Not just repeat it again, but be able to be a mirror for somebody else too, that may go through those same type of situations. They're watching. Everybody's watching each other. Sometimes we got most of the time we should be watching ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And how
Mm-hmm.
we react. That's the reason I don't even answer questions. If somebody asks me, "Well, what would you do?" I don't answer those questions. If anybody has ever talked to me, they know that I don't answer those type of questions because I don't want to be dealt that situation to figure out what it is that I really truly will do. I
Absolutely.
just tell people, "Well,
And
what
and and
looking
people,
within."
you gotta. Sometimes people don't want to take responsibility. It's easy for you to call them like, "Hey," so, and then they take your advice, and then if it doesn't work out, then they have someone to blame.
But like, "Ooh,
So you
Oh,
have to
wait a
give
minute.
them, give
Hold up.
them, give them the
that's true."
opportunity to sink or swim. But
Mhm.
the lesson is for them.
Mhm.
So yeah, I
Mhm.
feel you on that one.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you this one question, and then I'm gonna probably do like a little quick fire with you.
Okay.
Okay. So in this one, um, what are some roles you feel like from a woman perspective, like a women that we're taught to play that actually kind of disconnects us from being and operating in our higher self?
Within this patriarchal system, um, I do believe in service and submission when it comes to your husband and your family, but I don't believe in service and submission, um, and it takes away from you as a woman, meaning
Hmm.
that's all you are,
Yeah.
and it's not.
Yeah.
We get lost in the day to day being a mother,
Hmm.
or doing all of our womanly duties, and we sort of sometimes we can lose track of us,
Hmm.
and a overworked and overstressed woman is, I believe, can be damaging to her home because you are in an energy and in a space mentally
Right.
where you are feeding these children that stress and
Yes.
that turmoil,
Ooh.
and so there ain't no peace in nobody,
Ooh.
not in the children, not in the home, but so everything starts with the woman. So I really believe that uh we really have to take care of ourselves, yo,
Yeah.
and take days. You have to have time to yourself outside
Absolutely.
of being a mother or outside of being a wife. You
Hmm.
have to, we need time to rejuvenate. We
Hmm.
need time to recalculate, rebalance, so we can come back in and be in that energy. But to constantly be in that energy and not have a break, it'll put a woman into a mental space where she is gonna be a problem for anybody that's in her freaking life. And
Don't
an
cross
angry
her
woman
path.
is the listen, an angry woman is bad news. You understand? Because she'll ruin your day and your life.
Oh,
The children too. You understand
and use
me?
the children.
Listen, so I believe, I believe in those things, but not in the detriment
Right.
of you losing yourself. I
Okay.
believe that we most definitely have to have a balance, and it's okay for us to have
Yeah.
um lives or careers outside of the traditional roles that we were taught and trained up. And let me just say this,
Hmm.
because I know it's a big thing with the man versus woman war, and I don't like this shit, but I
Yeah.
know it's a big thing where the fellas seem to feel like the women are not like their grandmothers or this, that, and the third. First of all, I'm and let's just be for real and let's just think back. The majority of us, 90% of us, think back to your grandparents and how and the dynamics of them. Was that woman happy?
Mm.
Just think. The woman, our
Mm.
grandparents did what they'd had to do. You
Right.
understand me? But a lot of them were not happy. They were miserable.
Yeah. I've heard
You know,
stories.
and they settled for
Some of them were
the
forced out.
family.
Well, some of them were forced out of their homes, by a certain age too. If thinking about like our generation and
Hmm.
going back as far as we can go back, a lot of them were with husbands because it was sort of arranged.
Yeah.
If you even think about the Color Purple movie, that wasn't like a made up situation.
Mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm.
that little girl was young.
And all of that, our older generation were taught and reared to tend to the children and tend to the home and forget about you.
Yes.
Your parents went to shit.
Yep.
You're miserable. You're angry all the time, so you're whooping them chaps all the damn
All the
time
time,
because you're
mad at them,
mad.
mad that you in that situation.
That you in that you're in that situation, and
Hmm.
when you don't if you don't fix and make sure you're good, you can't be good for nobody else. You
Right.
just can't.
Right.
And so I'm always going to promote um a balance when it comes to the goddesses.
Yes.
Try not to, whatever you're doing, even being a mother, because I'm one of those parents. Listen, this everything has just been the children since I had my first child. So
Hmm.
I'm just now learning to balance, okay, and transition out. I'm not just a mother.
Yes.
I don't just go to work and pay bills and tend to children.
Absolutely.
Like I
Absolutely.
have uh things that I have to do. My soul has, like my children's souls has
Hmm.
things that they're supposed to do.
Right.
So making sure that I nurture that part of me so I can stay balanced and I can give my babies and the people that's in my life the best version of me.
Right. Right. And you've done a great job in setting those expectations. So
Mhm.
I applaud you for that. All right, little quick fire round, real
Okay.
quick. So the game is called, it's like we're gonna call it Soul Fire. Okay. So it's either soul aligned or nah. So you can say soul or nah, it's
Okay.
not. Okay. So let me give you some situations. So manifestation without inner healing. Soul or nah.
Nah.
Ooh.
Nah, 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 nah. Look, no, 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 no. No. Hell to the nah.
Can't do it. Can't do it. All right, going back to your ex because you're lonely or there's some unfinished business or there's like a Mercury retrograde going on.
I say hell to the nah. Nah, 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 nah.
There's a lot of no's over here. All right. All right, here's a big one. Okay, this might disturb some folks, okay? Tithing out of guilt.
Oh no. No. You ain't supposed to do nothing out of guilt, because guilt carries a vibration. And we'll if we get into another show, we can go into how the different emotions and stuff affect the different parts of the body. But
Yeah.
you don't want to have no type of guilt in nothing you do. So if you're doing anything and you feeling some kind of shame or guilt, stop doing it,
Mm.
because you is creating all kind of, I'm telling you, you're gonna fuck around and have some kind of serious ailment within your body. If you did it, you did it. I did it and I might do it again. But
Mm.
don't carry that energy of guilt and shame or whatever you're doing, because if you carry that in anything you're doing or you're saying or how you're moving, stop doing it.
You better stop. You better stop. There's gonna be a lot of no's. I'm looking at this list, okay?
Okay.
Saging, saging the house, but not cleansing the actual mindset, your mindset.
No, because sage is just a tool.
Hmm.
Sage is a tool, but sage does not do the work.
All right,
Yeah.
let me do this one last one. Saying God told me when it was really fear that told you. You operated off of fear.
Forever no. When I say forever no, that's the same energy as guilt and fear. Fear will keep you from taking any type of step. Fear will keep you from making friends, starting that business. Fear will keep you from move. Fear will keep you from doing any daggone thing because that'll keep you stuck within your mind. So no, if it has anything to do with fear, you are most definitely 100% outside of alignment.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I want to ask you real quick, because you hinted on it and talked about it, and I kind of skipped over it a little bit. So I'm gonna go back. You say you're a healer,
Mhm.
right? So what do you have like products like describe to me your product line that you do have. I'm familiar with it, but I want to make sure that the world is also familiar with it as well.
I sell healing jewelry, and it's actually crystals and healing
Mm,
stones, and and they're geared toward different body parts or different healing to help you with on your spiritual journey. I mean, as far as calmness, anxiety, I do a lot of protection jewelry. I also offer um, like guidance sessions. But with those, I really don't like to charge for those because it's like
yeah.
when somebody comes to me for advice or questions in whatever it be, I know that it's my duty to enlighten them.
Yeah.
And it's not always me because I have people that I go to and that enlighten and feed me too. So
Right.
with that, that's I wouldn't really consider that to be a service. It's just if that's something that you was interested in, you just get with me. And that's why I had set up,
Hmm.
for me to do the class next month.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't necessarily be a paid service. I did create a pain lotion, and everything that
Mm,
I create, I want it to be all natural with me understanding that the skin is actually our biggest freaking organ, and so
yes.
everything that we put on our body is going to affect our blood system, which is internally going to affect our thought process and everything. So I do offer a body butters too, but I took a break on the body butter because I'm trying to perfect it. I created it and I
Yeah.
did my thing, but
Yeah.
the textures thing really
It's not what
texturing.
you want.
And
Okay.
so
You
so
back in the lab.
yeah, I'm back in the lab when it comes to that. But I do have a headache pain oil. But
Mm,
any healing for me is the mental body, the emotional body, and the physical body.
mm,
And
yes.
so the mental body I feel like is, you know what I'm saying, most definitely number one, in the emotional body because that's actually creating your circumstances and you know what I'm saying, your life or whatever.
Right.
So I'm offering my sound healing sessions and
Ooh.
just different things to help relax the nervous system and relax the mind and help people deal with anxiety and just being able to, whenever whatever you're going through the day, you're once your day is over, you're able to digress and get that energy off you. You're
Yeah.
not feeling anxious, you're not feeling stressed. No matter what you go through, you're able to, okay, I dealt with this,
Yeah.
now get to the house or get wherever you be and shake that shit off. And it's a
Yeah.
daily process.
So, without putting your whole phone number out there, how can people reach you and connect with you? What's the
I'm
best way?
I'm on TikTok. I'm on I'm Empress Mika 111 on TikTok, and then I'm Empress Mika on Instagram, and
Okay.
then I'm Tamika Flake Bay on Facebook, and also Mika Flake on Facebook. But I have a business page on Facebook. It's called Timeless Divine, and
Timeless Divine.
my business number is on there. So I don't know it by heart. So,
Well, we can send
but
this on those sites. Is your number on those sites?
yes, yes, it's on my business page actually. So, if you want to get in touch with me for whatever reason,
Flood her phone and her
hit
her
me up.
inbox. Flood it.
Hit me
Flooded,
up.
y'all.
And I'm also a promoter when it comes to melanite, especially the goddesses.
Yes.
When it comes to business, helping you with whatever you got going on. And it's not, for me, it's not about money. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, I'm not one of those people who charge people for every little thing. If you have something going on and you might need some help,
Mhm.
events or whatever the case may be, and you know what I'm saying, you might be shorthanded and I'm local, hit me up.
All right. All right. Well, I know that we're coming to an end. It's 7 o'clock, and we appreciate all this time. I appreciate you, Tamika, for coming on this show and just being vulnerable and just being the goddess energy, that matriarch energy, that feminine energy that we really need right now. And so,
Absolutely.
I'll just say that, the return of the matriarch isn't a trend, y'all.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. It's a timeline.
And we are activating within that timeline.
And we're not asking for permission.
We're not
Nope. But we're
shaking
gonna
rooms and kicking
that's
doors.
it. And we're gonna lead in love. And so
Always.
I'm gonna close this out with my I call her my homegirl, like she really know me, but she might get to know me hopefully one day.
Yeah.
Lava, you and Free Soul are something else. But Lava, I'm gonna play this song called Remember the Path.
Divine be guiding me out of this web that got us so stuck. I write the path, remember it now. You wrote the path, remember it now. Divine be calling me in. All of the answers lie within me. I write the path, remember it now. You wrote the path, remember it now. No longer hiding in the shadow of light. I can't shrink my light. I can't shrink my light. No longer fighting with my intuition. The goddess has awakened and she's moving in her greatness. Learning to breathe, learning to see, learning to be free. Bring it down from my dreams. Commune with deities. Little baby, the light. And she working that shadow side every night. Divine be guiding me out of this web that got us so stuck. I write the path, remember it now. You wrote the path, remember it now. Divine be calling me in. All of the answers lie within me. I write the path, remember it now. You wrote the path, remember it now. And she waking that shadow side every night. The goddess has awakened and she's moving in her greatness.
Y'all doing the do.
Well, thank y'all for joining. Y'all saw Billy kind of flash through, and but thank you again, Tamika, and hopefully we reach some souls
Absolutely.
today.
I just want to say I am absolutely grateful for being here and being able to vibe with y'all. I think I was telling her, this is my second podcast. The first one was with Jesse Allison. God bless the dead.
Yes, yes.
I look forward to y'all see me again with her. Y'all see me again. Y'all see me again with her. But I send love and light to the crowns and heart spaces of all, and peace and bliss and abundance, y'all.
Peace, y'all.
We did it, Gary. We did it. Got you a whole show and stuff.